Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how much I appreciate the fun that I'm having playing Legion Remix. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break from the fun combat things we've been doing lately in all these videos on Legion Remix, and just kind of discuss a little bit, and I think maybe try to put in perspective the fun I'm having and the type of fun that I'm having playing Legion Remix, and maybe at the end of the video even suggest maybe something going forward for the actual game, for the actual retail game, or for classic game, whatever, classic plus, doesn't matter, just in general, something that might be valuable that maybe we took for granted in other times in the game. At least I did, maybe, right? Not everybody. So, the best way to describe the type of fun I'm having in Legion Remix is I would say that I'm getting locked in. I don't really have a better way to phrase it, but for me, it's very similar to the feeling you get when you first get a game, right? So imagine you just got a new game on Steam, or you just got a new game, wherever, and whoever makes it doesn't matter. And you're really psyched to get it. You've been waiting for it for a while. Maybe it's a familiar game that has a new, not expansion, but a new title coming out or whatever. Like, Fallout 5, whenever that happens or something, right? That's a beloved game. Something like that, right? And you're just waiting for it. It comes out, and let's say, of course, that it's also good, and it just gives you this really cool feeling, right, of playing that game. It's very similar to that. I know that feeling as well, and I like that feeling as well. It's very similar to that, but this is what I call being like locked in to where I can just almost like, and it's dangerous because I'm an adult now and I have other things I need to do other than play video games. But um the first time I remember having this feeling is when I was a kid and I got 007 GoldenEye for N64. And I was, now that was a double feeling. That was the new game feeling plus being locked in feeling. It was the first time I ever had that feeling, at least for a video game. I don't know if I ever had that feeling on anything else before, but it was definitely the first time for a video game where I felt that way. I wasn't a huge gamer, we were a little bit poor overall, and so I didn't always have the best kind of gaming stuff. But I got an N64, and that was like a huge deal to me. And and then I had got GoldenEye, and that was so cool. And so, anyways, I was like addicted to it. I was having dreams about it as a kid, and I was really good at it. I'm somebody who's kind of just good at video games, I guess. I'm one of those annoying people that are just kind of good at things, and everybody hates me because I'm good at stuff. It kind of sucks, actually. It's both good and bad, I guess. And so I was also getting really good at it, and I was just completely locked in. I got the magazine of 007, and I learned how to get all the cheat codes. I went through and unlocked every single cheat code in 007. And then when I told my friends or whatever acquaintances at school that I was like really into 007 and I had all the cheat codes, they're like, no way. And I remember kids over the weekend, I would take one cartridge a weekend and unlock the cheat codes for other kids, because it just saved on the cartridge or whatever. And I would unlock the cheat codes for other people. And I did that a few times. It was a lot of work. I don't know why I was doing it. I think somebody gave me like $5 to do it too at one point. But, I was a kid, whatever. But it was just really cool, right? And that's the first time I remember having that feeling. I've had it since then. I know playing Fable 1, I had this similar feeling, and I've had other feelings like this before. I have this feeling in WoW every once in a while too, which is probably why I keep playing WoW. At the beginning of seasons, a lot of times I'll get a little bit locked in for at least the first week or first couple weeks of a season, but not every season, including this past one, right? So I was missing it a little bit, and that's because my guild had disbanded. Even though I can still do Mythic Plus, it just wasn't quite as locked in as I normally might be. And when I'm locked in, I can just sit and game, right? I don't feel the need to get up every 10 minutes or, my attention span is a lot better when I'm locked in, I would say. And it's because I'm having fun, man. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not really like an ADD type person. I can keep attention on things for long periods of time. But a lot of times, sometimes not with video games, because I'm like, I'm not having that much fun, and I'll wander, or I'll go do something else, or more productive, or whatever else, right? But Legion Remix is recapturing that, and I'm just locked in because I love how you feel your character getting stronger, right? And yeah, there's some people who kind of like abuse some things or whatever, and their power's going to get rolled back a little bit on the reset because of that. But generally speaking, I like outliers, not counted. It's just kind of cool that every little thing you do in the game gives you a little bit of power, and it just makes you want to keep playing because you kind of feel that power getting stronger. So I'm up to 130% verse. If I get in, I'll probably get like 10% more verse or something tomorrow, right? And I'll be at 140% verse, and I'll be able to feel that. I'll be able to see that my health is higher. And it's just cool, man. And you feel yourself getting stronger. You go into a raid and you see how much more damage you're doing. And then you see other people that, in this case, maybe have like a bajillion ranks already and are going to get rolled back. This video isn't to judge whether that's the right or wrong choice by Blizzard there. But, to see how far behind those people I am, but also then see how far ahead of other people I am. And you can kind of judge yourself based on that. And you can see, oh, wow, I'm probably getting close to being able to solo this, or maybe I can solo this. And it's just like this meaningful thing where you see your player getting stronger. And that's also similar to the beginning of a season, right? You get a new piece of gear, and if it's a big upgrade, you can kind of feel yourself getting stronger, or you get a couple new pieces of gear and you kind of just feel yourself getting stronger. It's the same thing in like classic WoW, right? That I think a lot of people were hooked on classic WoW is for the leveling process, right? A lot of people love classic WoW for the leveling process. That's what, like, the main part of classic WoW is the leveling. And you have like a gray or a green item on, and then you get like a blue that's like your level at like BUE drop or something like that, or just a blue off a boss that's really strong, or heaven forbid like a purple a random purple, and then you just feel yourself becoming so much stronger because of it. And I think that's an important thing, especially in games like this, right? And I think they've captured it so well in Legion Remix, and it's because, like I said, every little thing you do kind of feeds into that power. I can go kill a rare spawn, and I might get some of these memento things that I can combine 100 of and get more power. Or I might randomly get one of those by flying through some bronze in the air. And you can just kill stuff and you just get more powerful, or you just get the knowledge itself without getting those mementos. And like, it's just cool, man. Every little thing gives you power. Every little thing feels like you're doing something. Even going back, so like once you get max gear, right, your power journey isn't over, right? So I go into the mythic raid and I still get a bunch of power. It's not direct. It's not as huge power gain at once as maybe a huge gear upgrade would be, but it's like an incremental thing. And we haven't really had this in the game since the Heart of Azeroth, which was a maligned thing. And I think part of it's just kind of the way it worked. But maybe, like I said at the top of the video, maybe we just had the wrong idea with it. Maybe the Heart of Azeroth type of thing was always like the best possible thing, where you could just kind of slowly grind a little bit of power if you wanted to. It gave you a reason to do world quests. More like, hey, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna give me a little bit of power. I have 10 minutes to spare. I'm gonna get a tiny bit more powerful. It's like this little thing. It makes every activity a little bit more fun when you can do that. And I was somebody who was fine with getting rid of that. While I've always enjoyed that, I was like, no, it's fine to get rid of it. It's like people, felt like they had to get to a certain level to be a certain power. But I think that's fine. Like, and I think they actually did a good job with it too, looking back, how they made it so, like, after a certain point, you'd get even, like, it took even more Azerite power to get to the next level, and it was just like harder and harder to grind it. Like, so that way, yes, people were ahead of others, but like, it wasn't like so much ahead that they were like infinitely stronger. Like, you could technically be on Legion Remix, right? You could be infinitely stronger. You couldn't institute this exact system into the game and have it work. You can't go walk around with 500% verse in the actual game. It just would break the game, right? But there's got to be a way that you could somehow do that. Or maybe it's just one ability gets stronger, right? So like, we have these Apex talents. So maybe the Apex talents could get slightly stronger or something like that, like just slightly more damage, or a hero talent or something like that, right? I don't know exactly what the answer is, but I definitely would love that, because it would keep the feeling alive a little bit longer. So in the regular game. Like I said, beginning of the season, you're getting upgrades. I love that feeling. I feel my character getting stronger. I see my damage getting higher in the dungeons, in the raid, wherever else. And then it kind of gets to a standstill, right? You're either really close to your best in slot, or you're as far as you can go because of crest caps and stuff like that. And I think crest caps are fine. I think they should lift them up earlier than what they do. But I think the fact that they exist is fine. But they probably should be removed slightly earlier, especially with the turbo boost. That's, again, a separate story. But the idea of this Legion remix is just like, we're over a weekend now, and I'm just having so much fun with it still. Like, I did get on retail this week and complete my vault. Because there's as much to do. Like, there's basically like world quests to do the raids once or whatever to get your stuff, and there isn't much else to do other than that. You can grind keys, but my idea is if I was going to grind keys, I'm going to do that and fill my vault on retail and not on here. But yeah, it's just like, I'm still having so much fun with it, and I don't know, at some point I'm going to have less fun, right? Is it going to last another week, another 2 weeks? We also have new raids coming out, and it's going to be fun to clear those and see how much you can solo those and how much power you have in those raids. So it's not quite to the end yet. It's like, it's really cool, man. And it's worth noting, that only a handful of devs work on something like this, and they did a really good job. And it's not about, and I compare it to like how to make the retail game better, or classic or whatever, like for the classic plus people, better, because Legion Remix isn't supposed to last forever. It's not going to last forever. So it's not about like, how do we improve Legion Remix and make it last longer? It's about what can we take from this, and that's literally World of Warcraft, and put it into the game. And I think the best thing you could do is something where you just can scale something up by playing the game. And I think that's the biggest thing, man. Doing world quests, doing delves, doing regular dungeons. Like, I mean, how you don't want too much of it, right? You don't want all the 1% players spamming random heroic dungeons and just like ruining everyone else's time. But like, at the same time, occasionally, and at least from my opinion, when I was a more casual player, when I saw somebody with amazing gear come in and like destroy everything, I always thought that was cool. I know that annoys some people, and it would be annoying if it happened every time, but sometimes that's cool. And I don't know, just having players just go around and doing stuff in the game to give them just slightly more power. I think that's so cool, man. And put more of the dragon riding races in, have those give you just slightly more power, like when not even just a world quest, maybe if you get a certain time once a day, if you get a gold time once a day on a race, you get more power. I don't know, just anything, right? It can be silly, it can be whatever, but it just makes you play the game, right? So like I have the urge, I don't know, like I'm not going to do it every day or something, but I have the urge to go do every single world quest, right? Just because I get a little bit more powerful if I do that. I have the urge to kill rare spawns, even though even though it's not for a world quest, because I get a little bit more stronger. And I would love to see that brought into the game without making it feel so overwhelming that you have to do everything all the time. But instead, it's like, wow, just playing the game rewards me in some way, other than the 2 gold I get off the body or something like that, right? Like, it actually rewards my player or my progression. So I wanted to take this video just to kind of talk about that. And Legion Remix really kind of hit that nerve for me. It made me lock in, and I'm still obviously playing it and having fun with it. And there's going to be more raids coming out. I have more stuff to do. I still have to do my solo plus 30 that I'll be doing here soon, maybe even before the buff on Tuesday. So I still have a lot more combat stuff to do and fun stuff to do in Legion Remix. But it's like, I can't believe it, right? My expectations were like medium high, and this just exceeded them, right? And so I think it's important to kind of call that out and be like, hey man, this is actually really good. All the negative things going on with the add-ons and stuff, like people arguing about World of Warcraft, which is just always, right, for 20 years. But like, it's like, hey, this is actually really freaking good, man. And I did a video similar to this about delves. It's like, hey, delves are actually just really good, and that Legion Remix is actually just really good. And let's figure out what we can take from this, if anything, and make the game better, make the regular game better, right? Always improving. So that's it for this one, guys. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much with the non-combat video, but As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon, the links below. And other than that, everybody have a good one.